Hi, this is Ted at Valley of the Dolly, and I wanted to talk to you today about an exciting new offering that's coming from Italy, and this is for people who are looking at moving to Europe as an expat, a retiree, or a digital nomad. So let's talk first about the Spanish program. A lot of you might be familiar with that already. It's something that the non-lucrative visa program has been in place for quite a while now. So it is a little bit different than what you might find in Portugal or Greece that we talked about last time. Does the Spanish program provide you with a flat tax rate on pensions? No, not similar to the 7 or 10% that we've talked about in other countries. Does it offer you an annual flat tax rate on dividends, capital gains, interest? And again, the answer here for the Spanish program is no. It does take into account tax treaties that might be written between the country of origin where you are coming from and Spain, so it's important to keep that you should put that into consideration when you're looking at a move here, so you understand exactly what that might entail for you. You do become a Spanish tax resident when you move here, so you are subject to Spanish taxes, and you will be taxed in Spain on your personal income for all income you obtain from any country in the world, Spain included. So that's a little bit different again than some of the other options that we've talked about. What are the advantages? Well, one of the advantages here is that you get access to the entire Schengen region, not just living in Spain, which is beautiful, but also the larger area of Europe that you can travel. Can you work as a digital nomad with this program? A lot of people have that question. The interesting thing Spain is tackling right now is the development of a program that's specifically geared towards digital nomads, and it's called a digital nomad visa. At this time, they have not published the results for that, so we don't know exactly what will be entailed with that. There are minimum income requirements for the program that they're offering here, and the salary or the passive income you would need for Spain right now would be almost 28,000 US dollars, 27,700 and change, right? Which is significant, and you would need to double that for 2 years, etc. You can also calculate this out in another form, which is taking total assets and saying, does that exceed 400% of the public indicator for that year? And so currently the public indicator, I think, is 579 euros. So for a monthly income, you would need to be able to show that you have 2,300 and a little bit more than that. If you have a child, spouse, you need to take all of those things into account as well and incorporate those into your calculations also. Your timeline to become a permanent resident in Spain would be 5 years. Your timeline to become a permanent citizenship would be 10 years. Is there dual citizenship? My understanding is typically no, but you would have to check and see with your specific country. Some countries it is allowed, some not. So you need to check and see which ones. I believe with the United States, for example, it is, but others you'll have to check. Medical insurance, you also need to carry your own private medical insurance. That's very important to remember, and incorporate the cost of the medical into your calculations when you're figuring out exactly what you will need to live on after you move. Now, let's stop and take a look at the Italian program, and let's see exactly how that differs from what Spain is offering. So Italy has just begun to offer this new program, and they're referring to this as the tax regime for foreign retirees. And this is a product of the 2019 budget law. So it's something relatively new, and it's a very interesting program that Italy has decided to offer up here. So in this program, you pay a 7% flat tax on all of your foreign sourced pension income, which it would be not generated via an Italian pension. You also pay a flat tax of 7% on foreign passive income. That would be your dividends, interest, etc. This is a substitute tax, and you are not entitled to take deductions related to international double taxation. So it's important to keep that under consideration. And again, in this situation, it's always best to do a lot of research regarding what the tax rules will be where you're planning on moving. Talk to a tax professional so that you have an understanding of exactly what the effect would be when you move there. There is a minimum income requirement, and again, this is a passive requirement that they're looking for. The timeline of the special tax regime is 5 years. So after that, you become subject to Italian taxes, and that's something to take into consideration. You are not required to declare foreign assets held outside of Italy. So and this would include bank accounts, financial assets, real estates that does not have to be declared during this period. And also it's another valuable aspect to this is that assets that are held abroad are not subject to Italian wealth taxes while you're under this program. And again, a lot of these things, it's important to remember it's while you're under these programs. What happens after that is a completely different ballgame, and it's something you need to research should you decide that you want to continue to live in that country after these tax schemes have ended. Can you work while you're in this? Can you work while you're under this tax scheme? And the answer to that really is no, because this is just a tax program that's for pensioners. This isn't for digital nomads or business owners. There are other programs for that. One thing to remember also is you need to consider where you're going to live. This is a really important part of this program, because if you're already having visions of living in Rome, the answer is no. Rome is not included in this program. If you're looking at Milan, also not included. If you're thinking about Florence, sorry, not included either. The interesting element to this compared to the other programs that we've talked about is that it only covers the southern half of Italy, which is absolutely beautiful. I love Puglia. There's so many incredible locations that are included in here: Sardinia, Sicily, Puglia, Campania. So you've got lots of options, but those three major cities that we talked about in the north, they are not included in this. Something else that you should really stop and take a look at are some of the surveys that are being done related to quality of life and other services that are offered in the country that you're looking at moving. So there is a great survey that's done for quality of life from internations.org, and this is a survey of expats. And in that survey, Italy ranks at number 28th for quality of life, and Spain clocks in at number 1, which is really interesting. Leisure options, you're going to find that Spain again is listed at number 1, and Italy is listed at number 19. Safety and security, Spain is listed at number 17, and Italy is listed at number 33. Both of those are lower than Portugal, for example, but those are the rankings internationally for Spain and Italy. And these are really important things to consider when you're looking at moving. So I hope this information was useful to you. Please, if you found it to be interesting and helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. And we're going to look at some other countries coming up next. I was also thinking of France and the programs that they offer compared to what you might find with Portugal, Greece, or Italy. Let me know if that interests you, and if you have comments or additional information that you want to share, please go ahead and leave that in the comments field. Thanks again. Bye now.